Welcome, everyone. We're here today with our Friday review, episode 2506. Definitely remember that number. We're going to be linking up all sorts of great items today. We've got a big product review. Some of you maybe on my email newsletter learned a little bit about the new toothpaste and oral health-based routine. I'm going to go through all of that here today. Super simplified as well, because again, I don't know about you, but I'm sure you're super busy in the morning and at night as well. And the last thing you want to be doing is spending 20 minutes on your oral health, dental brushing, all that routine. So I've super simplified that here today. I'm going to give you everything. I'll even share with you, again, if you've never heard about it before, the biological dentist that I use and that I recommend if you have any mercury amalgams in your mouth or you're worried about different root canals, etc. I'm going to share all that with you. We've done a lot on the health of the mouth and the teeth because it is so important, because any bacteria that's trapped in this mouth goes directly into your bloodstream, into the arteries, to the heart as well. So we have to be really careful about that. It is actually very well studied, and I just want to make sure you're staying safe in that regard. All right, I'm also going to be sharing with you 2 research studies here today. One for elderly parents, or if you're a personal trainer or you're a naturopathic doctor or you're an integrative health practitioner, maybe look at this with your clients as well. This is going to be important, really important for fall prevention. It's an easy test that anybody can do right at home. And I also want to give you an update on eczema and skin conditions. So if you know anybody with that, and the possible link later to autoimmune, and of course, how you can reverse that as well. I'll be doing my podcast recap, and always we start off with our updates for the week. So this is truly one of my favorite times of the year. This podcast releases on December 16th. This is, again, one of my favorite times to just almost like take it all in, sit back and enjoy life, because another year, I mean, if you can believe it, another year has passed. And for me, I just don't want to live a life of regret. And that means I refuse to say, oh, I didn't get to do this year. I didn't get to do that. Listen, if you are someone that plans your life, that does your very best, hopefully you tune into next Monday's podcast, my very first one this year on the 12-week year. You know, if you're doing your best to plan your life and you're going after your goals and you're looking at all the different areas of your life, you're assessing, you're self-assessing, and you're doing your best, you can't have regrets, because you can only do what you can do. Now, you can always try to be better. And that's what next year is for. And we're going to get into that. And we're absolutely going to achieve that together. But the thing is, like, you can't say, oh, I wish. No, if it's important to you, let's set it up. Let's take care of it, not over the course of a year, but over 12 weeks. So definitely stay tuned for next Monday. But for me, and this was very conscious, if you go back and you listen a year ago on a Friday review, just like this one, I probably shared with you this, is that, you know, I used to say I need to take off this amount of time at the end of the year. I need to journal more about what I want this next year. I need to do that. And I don't do that anymore. I don't try to force myself to say, oh, you need to forget about life for a couple weeks. No, it's like I've integrated my work, my exercise, my health routines, all of these things into just my life. And I'm doing the things that I truly love. And that's what I wish for all of you, is that you just move to a place closer in your life that you don't need to take a break from it. And I just don't feel like I need to take a break from my life. It's like, sure, like I enjoy my weekends off, but I'll still check in with my team. I'll still just make sure that everybody's doing well, and that if there's any questions from the community, if I can help, because I'm integrated, meaning like it's where I want to be. And if I ever need a full day off, then I'll listen to my body and I'll listen to my mind and I'll say, yeah, we can take that off. But do I need to take 2 weeks off at the end of the year? No, I don't. And so I don't try to force that upon myself anymore. I just say, I'm going to enjoy the moment, and then I'm going to enjoy this moment, and I'm going to make sure that my 2 daughters feel that they're loved, that they're enjoying this holiday season, that I'm around friends, that I'm around family. And so that's really what I do try to do. And again, I never try to tell you how to live your life. I think that would be very bold and obnoxious of me. I simply want to share with you where I'm at, and maybe some of it resonates with you, and it could be the polar opposite, and that's okay as well, because you may not actually be in a place where you are really enjoying life right now. And you may actually need to pull away just so you can get a little downtime for your mind and your nervous system, which is your body, in order to then have a better game plan going into the next year. And I think that that's okay too. I've been there. For sure, I've been there. And so what I would say is this, again, is just you be you. You do what you need to do for you. And I think that that's the absolute best place to be. And one thing that I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. I'm super excited for this coming new year and all the different plans and programs and different things like that we want to help inside of the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, but also inside of EqualLife, which is our community, our virtual functional medicine practice. And we're going to have, if you can believe this, and this is pretty insane because, I've been doing this now for over 10 years. And when I just do bullets for my Friday review podcast, meaning like if you want to kind of pull back the curtain, I just have like 5 bullets of things that I want to chat about with you. And I just make sure that I hit those 5 bullets and everything else just comes from the heart and kind of what I believe and what I should share with you. And one thing that just kept popping in my mind is I remember in 2015, it's way back now. I mean, that's funny that it's already 7 years back, but I was speaking at a conference and it was to a lot of successful entrepreneurs. And I just shared with them, like, I have a functional medicine practice, 2 of them actually in Boston, and we were doing 20,000 appointments a year, and it was phenomenal. And so what I said to people, though, is I said, I'm not interested in franchising. I'm not interested in opening up another dozen locations. Because at the end of the day, okay, so then maybe I could do 200,000 appointments a year. That's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's amazing. Anybody should be very grateful to be able to do that, achieve that, et cetera. I said, but the thing that matters to me most right now is to be able to teach this at scale. And the one thing, because I couldn't offer everything because it was just myself and 2 basically executive administrators in my team that worked in my wellness center. And I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer the one thing that I believe is the most game-changing for people's health, wellness, longevity, and body transformation. And I'm going to do that online. And that's from our functional medicine practice. I've already been doing it for years. I knew it worked. I started it with autoimmune-based wellness clients. And then I saw all of the benefits. And I said, everybody should be doing this. And so I brought that to people. And I shared that with people like, listen, this is going to help 80+% of the people with like 80% of their symptoms. And they were just astounded by it. And all I was doing, again, was speaking from my heart. I brought it online that next year in 2016. But the amount of questions and the amount of people, there was probably like 300, maybe 400 maximum in this room. I had over 100 people. So more than 25% of the audience came up to me at various points over the next 48 hours asking me if they could get it sooner. And it's amazing because I knew at that point that we were onto something, and I had already seen it work in practice. And so why did I share that story with you? And I didn't even mean for it to be that long, but it's important because it's very meaningful for me, is that we now reach well over 3 million people per month with the Cabral Concept podcast, YouTube channel, social media, et cetera. That is beyond my wildest dreams of the amount of people that I could reach in a month. We can't do 3 million appointments a month. That's not possible for anyone. And so what I can do is I can share the very best things from my practice and allow people to come in where they feel best. Now, we are, and this is the true reason I shared it for you, we're going to have about 50,000 people doing the Functional Medicine Detox by EqualLife January 9th, or within the first couple weeks of January. They get to choose their start date. That is unbelievable to me. But it's one of the biggest accomplishments that we've done. And the reason is it's the very best place for people to get started, to learn about intermittent fasting, to learn about proper meal timing, to learn about liver detoxification, to learn about overall improving their health. So I just wanted to share that with you. I mean, if you'd like to join us, we'd of course would love you to join us. You can find out more by going to stevencabral.com/detox. Just learn about it. That's all. I actually have a whole free course. So if you want to learn about it in a free course too, just go to stevencabral.com/courses. It's completely free to take the detox course. And I would love for you to learn more about how potent this is and why that I'm no longer one of maybe like a dozen or 2 dozen practices from over a decade ago doing it. Now there's thousands and tens of thousands of practitioners using functional medicine detoxes because of how scientifically proven it is to work, but the real world results are there. So I wanted to share that with you. That's kind of my mindset moving into the new year. I couldn't be more excited for that date, January 9th. I'll be doing my detox, and I hope that you do join us. All right. The podcast recap from this week on Monday, why you should be careful accepting average in every area of your life. I love that show. It really is something that I started to tune into about a decade ago. It was a game changer for me. And it goes along with this quote, how you do anything is how you do everything. Tune into that show if you're not familiar. All right, Tuesday's show is the best vitamin D foods. And really, I said, like, are there any ones that are good for vitamin D? And if so, which ones are best? I share with you essentially the top 10. And if you still need to get sun, even if you're taking those, or if you still need supplementation, if so, how much, okay? And then on Wednesday's show was, are you glycogen depleted? And if you're not, should you be? It's a good question. I think it's a good question to ask. And I go into body types on that as well. Yesterday's show was the 5 ways to increase nitric oxide naturally. This is something that most of us do want to do, so definitely tune into that show. All right, I get to do my product review of the week. One of my favorite things about the Friday review is that I'm always trying new things, and I'm always then sharing with you the best of the best. So if you can see in my office right now, I have a stack of about 7 new health tech gadgets, functional foods, all sorts of different things that are great. Maybe one of those is going to make it to you. So I just want you to know that I take very seriously everything I send out in my Wednesday email newsletter on product reviews. So I do a Sunday rewind once a week, like 48 weeks of the year. And then I do a Wednesday email product review about the same amount of time. I probably take off like every quarter, like once a week or so from that. And that's it. That's what I send out for my emails. And what I'd like to do is share with you, though, the toothpaste that I've switched over to. Many of you know in the past that I used the Himalayan toothpaste. It's excellent. I'm not saying it's not great. This one, though, I've just really enjoyed. It's by Wellnesse. Some people pronounce it Wellnesse, but it is a company that I got turned on to not too long ago. And actually, it started with I'll hold this one up first, their charcoal toothpaste. So if you're not watching this on video, I have 3 toothpaste that I'm going to be sharing with you. The charcoal toothpaste, I'll talk about how many times a week to use that. We've got the regular fresh mint toothpaste for daily use. And then this is the one that I switched my daughters over to. And this is a children's toothpaste, and it's strawberry flavored. Now, here's the reason why I switched over to this specific toothpaste. One is that it actually helps to remineralize. So I like the idea that as I'm getting older, and unfortunately chronologically, I do continue to age, hopefully not as much biologically. And what I want is just to make sure that I'm not cracking teeth, losing teeth, needing root canals, etc. as I get older. Because again, like, not only is it painful, take you out of the game and all that, but oftentimes you need antibiotics. And I don't want to put antibiotics in my body unless it's life-saving. So the other reason why I went with them is that on their website, and I'm going to link it up today along with our community discount code, which I believe is $20 off qualifying orders. So if you go to stephencabral.com/2506, I'll link up our community link. But here's the thing. On their page, they actually show you each ingredient, and then they take you to the environmental working group, so the EWG.org, they're skin deep, and show you, that each one of those are a 1, meaning that they're safe as possible to put into your body. So I love that. I mean, I think that's like next level, like being able to actually share with you all the different cleanliness of the ingredients. So they go well beyond the GMO, no paraben, no sulfate, cruelty-free, fluoride-free. And then they share with you exactly what they are putting in the toothpaste. So they even have neem oil, which they use back in Ayurvedic time, which is a great antimicrobial for the mouth. So here's what I use on a daily basis. It is the fresh mint. I said in my newsletter, I love this. And the reason is that I can drink my iced coffee, my iced cold brew, or my smoothie directly after this, or eat food. It doesn't leave that like super mint taste in your mouth, which I like, because I like to be able to eat something like for breakfast after I've done brushing my teeth or so. The charcoal one, I use 2 to 3 times a week. And this is actually to pull bacteria and other germs out of your mouth. So that's a really nice one. That comes as part of the gift set. And this is my kids' toothpaste. I literally just took it out of their bathroom. So there's like toothpaste on the actual tube right there. I don't know if you can see it. And then my daughters love this. And they would tell me for sure if they did not like that flavor. So that is that. And I wanted to share that with you. The gift set actually comes with a nice bamboo brush. It comes with a tongue scraper. So instead of doing my book review today, I wanted to share with you my actual oral health routine. So it is 2 to 3 minutes in the morning. So I've shared this before, but I don't mind sharing it again. When I get up, I'm right away getting ready for the day. Like that's my immediate thing. So I like to just start the day so that there's no chance that I may get into sleepy mode, I don't want to do anything mode, anything like that. And I want to be ready for my daughters when they wake up. And I want a little bit of that time for myself after I'm ready. So it's basically energizing for me just to brush my teeth, shave, get in the shower, get ready for the day. Like I love that. I then do my morning movements. I've talked about that before, the 5 exercises I do every morning, which isn't really a workout. It works out my muscles, but it's really to move the lymphatic system to improve circulation, et cetera. And then just gets the endorphins going. All right, so that's that. So what's the oral care routine look like? All right, so I use a copper tongue scraper. I don't have that with me. I don't put that on my desk. That stays in the bathroom. So I'm gonna link that up today. Copper tongue scraper, and that takes all of 30 seconds. Like literally that's it. So the copper tongue scraper, you're literally just putting it on your tongue and you're scraping gently on your tongue from back to front. You can do the sides a little bit. And that's also in Ayurveda, they say it's stimulating the organs. It's actually waking up the digestive system. So that's quite nice. Then after that, I'm brushing my teeth. Super simple, super easy. I don't floss in the morning. Some people floss twice a day. I don't. So I brush my teeth in the morning. And then after that, I'll shave, but then when I get in the shower, I'll oil pull. So all I do is a little bit of sesame oil. Some people do coconut oil. That's fantastic as well. Ayurveda typically said to do sesame oil, as long as you don't have higher copper, things like that. I like the sesame oil, so that's what I do. And that's just 5 minutes. So you can do 10 minutes if you want, take a longer shower, you can oil pull for a little longer if you want. When you do spit out the oil, spit it into the toilet so it's not bad for the drain. All right, that's it. So that's the morning routine. Super easy, and it helps the gums, and it helps the digestive system, the tongue, and it gets that bacteria out of your mouth. If you don't know about oil pulling, we'll link up a show on oil pulling today as well at stephencabral.com/2506. All right, and then in the evening, it's a little bit different. I use the tongue scraper at night, but much gentler. So very gentle. I don't do the sides. I just go straight down the tongue. I get any leftover bacteria that might be on there. That's it. So it's gentle because you don't want to stimulate the body. You don't want to stimulate the organs or nervous system. After that, I floss. A lot of people floss after they brush their teeth. That's what my wife does. I know a lot of people do. I don't do that, okay? Like I don't have a problem if people decide to do that. When I floss my teeth, if there's any food in there or bacteria, it's being pulled out, right? So if it's being pulled out, I don't want that then left in my mouth. And so what I do is I will first do gentle tongue scraping. I will then floss, which is good for stimulating the gums and getting the bacteria out from between the teeth, and which can, because it can be food and then it can rot and create bacteria. And then I brush my teeth because I want that fresh taste in my mouth. I want to get rid of whatever just got out from between my teeth. Not great to think about, right? And then after that, you can just swish. You can swish with a little bit of water. I'm going to be doing a show, why not to use mouthwash, or you can do oil pulling again. I don't do oil pulling again. I just do a quick swish with water, spit it out, and that's it. And so that's the evening routine. So that might take 5 minutes total. But it's super easy. But the thing is, again, I'm trying to just impress upon you how important it is to take good care of your teeth and gums, all right? All right, so now let's get into the research for the week. And again, let me know if there's any questions. You can just reach out on Instagram or at cabralsupportgroup.com. So the first piece of research is an interesting one, and I like to share with you what I learned. This was new to me. It's called the toe test, and it assesses an individual's risk of falling. So it just doesn't have to be just for elderly people. It could be for anybody that maybe has neurological issues, etc. So check this out, because I'm going to give you exactly what it says. This was done out of Staffordshire, maybe it says that, University. in Stoke-on-Trent, UK. I'm sure that's mispronounced. And it was published in Gait and Posture. I'm going to link it up for you as well at stephencabral.com/2506. But researchers have devised an easy way to predict if an elderly person is at risk for falling. But again, it could be anybody. And here's what they do. It's called the Enhanced Paper Grip Test. The healthcare practitioner slides a small card beneath the patient's foot and then tries to pull it out while asking the patient to grip the card with his or her big toe. Inability to hold the card in place signals that the patient lacks strength and balance needed to avoid a dangerous fall. So let me put it very simply. You could put a plain card from like a deck of cards underneath, halfway underneath a patient's toe, or it could be your elderly parent, grandparent, etc. And then you're not super forcefully, but you're going to try to pull it out. And they should be able to push down with their toe with enough force in order to be able to not allow you to easily pull that out. That will show that they have enough strength. And it's not just strength. I know that the researchers, I'm sure, meant this, but neurological control in order to stay balanced and actually exert force where they should. And why the big toe? The big toe is extremely important for balance, all right? So we kind of like splay our toes and hold on and grip with them. Really important as you get older to be able to do that. That's why whenever I trained older adults, I always made them train barefoot. I always had them work out barefoot as long as it was a safe space so they could train all the muscles, tendons, ligaments in their feet as well. All right, so that was research number one. Research number two for the day that I thought was interesting because I want to give you an in-depth, more naturopathic background on it. Eczema being linked to autoimmune diseases. So a study by research out of Karolinska Institute in Stockholm, Sweden, published in the British Journal of Dermatology. So what they found, because again, like this is significant for conventional medicine. They don't usually think like this, but they're like, oh, people who have eczema are twice as likely, almost twice as likely to have autoimmune disorders, especially that affect the GI tract, skin, or body's connective tissue. Interesting, right? Because in naturopathy, we've been saying forever that autoimmune issues are 90%, and 90% of cases are gut related. And I have a show on the root cause of autoimmune issues, and I'll link that up today as well at stephencabral.com/2506. Now, keep in mind, we pretty much have a podcast now on everything, right? 2,500 plus podcasts. If you ever want to find a podcast on any topic, you can just search it inside the search box at stephencabral.com/podcasts. If you can't find it, ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. That's our free Facebook group. Just say, hey, do you have a podcast on eczema, migraines, autoimmune, rheumatoid, MS, anything you want, right? You can ask. And I bet there's probably one on it. Now, let me get back to the eczema though. Children with eczema, that's where we see it the most, and yes, adults have it too, almost always have some level of intestinal permeability, but beyond that, food sensitivities. Now, psoriasis is much more autoimmune related and almost always intestinal permeability linked with stress. So again, two different types of skin-based issues. Psoriasis considered autoimmune, eczema not, but eczema leading to autoimmune diseases later in life or connected. Why? Because both of them have to do with the gut. So again, I want you to know that although conventional medicine, I think, means well, they are still well behind the times in terms of anything outside of their scope of practice, which is pharmacology, surgery, and disease diagnosis based on blood work when it's already come to an acute-based stage, right? So the thing is like, you don't need to give up conventional medicine. Keep your medical doctor, right? But you want to look then for an integrative health practitioner, ideally a level 2 that can run some at-home labs with you, or find a naturopathic doctor in your locale, whatever works for you, to go deeper. Because I just want to share with you, especially as we're moving into the new year, there's always an answer. There is absolutely always an answer. You can find it out, you can recover, you can literally improve any area of your life. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much for tuning into the show. I appreciate you. I thank you. I'll be back tomorrow with our Cabral House Calls. Take care, everybody.